Well, red hot were the Royal Challengers as the Chinnaswamy faithful have seen their team return to what's been such a spectacle as a venue in the IPL all these years. And Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis, after the bowlers did their job, lit up the evening for an emphatic RCB win by 8 wickets with 22 balls to spare. Net run rate, keep an eye on that. It always counts for something in the IPL, even though we are only on the opening weekend of the tournament. On ESPN Cricket for T20 time, Tom Moody and Deep Das Gupta to look back at it. We thought it might be tricky, but this was anything but one-sided, one-way traffic. Could you explain why it was one-sided? Was that a more true assessment of the surface and batting conditions?
Look, I think the momentum was clearly with RCB, right from the get-go. The Mumbai Indians were sort of put on the back foot, and if it wasn't for, superb innings from Tilak Verma, they would have been absolutely nowhere from a team total. They ended up posting what we thought was going to be competitive, but we just saw a masterclass of, two very fine players at at the back end of their careers, but still playing exceptionally well. And they had their moments where they gave a couple of little chances that weren't taken, and when you're sort of, on that negative side of momentum, it's funny how those chances don't stick, but when things are going for you, suddenly you take those half chances and the game can be turned around, but it certainly wasn't being turned around tonight.
Yeah, I think there was some chat that now that Kohli has found runs for India, would you want him to bat 3 again for RCB? But when these two came together, it just made such a difference to their season, and it's nice to see them together when they go like that. It's no stopping them.
Absolutely. I mean, that was like poetry in motion, both of them together. I thought a couple of turning points. This Barendorf second over. Again, Faf, he was absolutely brilliant. I think got 14 or 16 of that over. And then drop catch. Jofra drop catch. And then after beating Virat with a normal back of length ball, why would you bowl a slower? Bowled a slower, stepped out 6 and then never looked back. And I thought those 2 overs, Barendorf second over and Jofra's first over, I think, those 2 were very, very important points in the game.
I'll come to what could be a serious sort of deja vu feeling, and not a pleasant one for Mumbai Indians fans who spent pretty much all of last season trying to figure out who's going to bowl. We'll come to that, but let's first marvel on just the flawless batting from Faf du Plessis. Kohli was awesome, but it was chanced, and Faf, the batter, has just reinvented his T20 game, Tom. I'm trying to think of the Faf du Plessis in the prime of his career as far as age goes, was not this batter. And now as he gets closer and closer to 40, which he looks nothing like, he has just changed how he approaches an innings in T20 cricket. What's changed?
Yeah, look, I think he's the ultimate professional, and his focus is clearly just purely T20 cricket. So he's now, he's got his eye right on that target, and he's wanting to be the best version of himself in that format. So he hasn't got the distractions of captaincy of South Africa, hasn't got Test cricket as a distraction, 50-over cricket. It's purely T20 cricket, and he's clearly got a lot of pride in his performance and the way he presents physically, which is enabling him to play the way that he's playing. I think there is a stat that I did read recently. Over the last 18 months, he's striking at 170 as an opener. So he's taken that, I think, up 30 points from where it was before. Wow. It's an extraordinary shift. So
is he playing shots that he didn't back then? I mean, did he always have so many shots?
Yeah, I think he's always had the game, but he's just decided that, he's got the belief and confidence that, this is how I want to present myself as a top order player. And I know that certainly right from junior cricket onwards, he was always compared alongside A.B. de Villiers as the 2 brilliant, protégés coming through South African cricket. Obviously A.B. got the limelight, but this guy, Faf du Plessis, my gosh, what a player.
It seems like he's playing with a lot more freedom now, a little unshackled, as you mentioned, maybe because he's not playing for South Africa anymore, the captaincy, and he's been in good form. He's been in red-hot form, whether it was PSL or South Africa T20. He's been in great form, and I think, and also, I guess the fact that, Maxwell had a great season last time around, even though he's coming off from a long layoff because of injury. Then you have DK, you have some really good batters down the order as well. I think that just frees him up a little more, and I believe that's the difference I see. He still used to play those shots over extra cover or using the bottom hand towards onside. Yeah. But I think that freedom and that, I guess, unshackled way that he's batting now.
He's also spent some time with us in the studio for the World Cup.
Oh, that's the prime reason. Obviously, that's the prime reason, yeah.
I was waiting for someone to get there.
The time that he spent with you.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, there's little commentary in Dinesh Karthik and, Faf du Plessis, they all kill it. Sam Curran also spent some time last year. Look at what he's got now, on what he's on. I don't know what I'm on. But a quick word on Virat Kohli. It was also nice to see big sixes from Kohli. Just there's no holding back, no finding his way into an IPL season. This is perhaps ominous and bodes well for RCB.
Yeah, I mean, the way he's been batting last 6 odd months across 3 formats, he's been absolutely brilliant since, I believe, the Asia Cup 2022. He's been very, very good in all 3 formats. And see, he was always batting well. It just occurred to me, or at least to me, for the last couple of years, or the years, those 2 years when he didn't get too many runs, was not anything to do with him technically or cricket-wise. I thought he wasn't in the right mind space, whatever was happening or whatever was going on in his head. I think that break that he took, that really helped him to kind of refocus and reignite the fire in him. And it seems to be in a really good space right now.
Yeah. Also, I think we made this point last year when Dan was in studio, that batting with Faf could have a nice positive effect on Kohli too. Just 2 equals, contemporaries, a lot of that. Like he enjoyed batting with AB for a large part of his career. Maybe Faf at the top is also going to have its effect on Kohli.
Yeah, I must admit I thought that tonight when I was watching them go about their business. There was a real sense of camaraderie there, friendship and comfort and mutual respect. And I think that, has certainly takes pressure off any situation where you're having to cover for someone else that's, trying to get set. And I think it also helps when you've got someone like Faf, who is playing with that sort of freedom. You nearly sort of draw on that energy yourself when someone's playing like that, particularly if you're, you've spent the last couple of years sort of a little bit uncertain with your game and you've lost a little bit of rhythm, and suddenly if someone's just playing with this incredible freedom, it's amazing how that can just rub off.
Yeah. All right, brilliant from RCB. Lots of boxes ticked in their opening game. Mumbai Indians, though, it's only one game, and we don't tend to be overly critical after one game. Things happen. In Mumbai, in their best seasons, have lost a few games and come back. But that was when you had a sense of invincibility about Mumbai, Tom, from what we've seen last year. Their challenges with the bowling. Today, seeing Berendorf go for runs, or Archer, wicketless. I'm trying to think of how quickly they could be sucked into what happened last year. Are you concerned for Mumbai, even though it's one game?
Yeah, look, I'm concerned because I've sort of called it before the start of the IPL. I didn't think they would be anywhere near the finals as a team, because I just feel there's too many holes amongst their team, and I don't think they've got a balance in their squad either. They don't have the domestic bowling depth. They don't have the international bowling depth, and they don't have balance with their overseas players either. They've got a lot of power hitters and young power hitters. In Brevis and Stubbs and David, there's 3 of them that are taking up, the 8 slots that you're given. That doesn't make sense to me. And you can see tonight just with RCB how important experience is. Where's the experience in that squad?
Yeah. I mean, we can keep talking about their lack of bowling. Maybe if they got 220 today and not defended it, we could have said, yeah, bowling's a challenge. Yeah. But today they could have easily got 120, and last year as well. Suddenly the batting stopped firing too. Are you concerned about their batting?
I'm not concerned, I'll be honest. This seems like a long-term project. If you look at the number of youngsters they picked last year and this year, a couple of youngsters we saw in this game tonight. So you can see it. But at the same time, you've got to perform in the present as well. It's all good to say, they've got a good, bright future, youngsters, even Jofra. I don't know how long he's going to play international cricket. Maybe, sooner or later he'll be exclusively for T20 and all that jazz. So that's all good. But at this point in time, obviously bowling. But batting, to be honest, what I've seen in this game, I think they should be all right. Okay. So not every day Cameron Green's going to get out that early. Not every, every game Rohit will get out that early. So there will be contributions from top 3, top 4. The middle order looks solid again. Tilak Verma's look really good. Vadera's look really good. So is Arshad. So there's the middle order. Obviously, you've got David there as well.
So
David.
Some positives, perhaps.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about the batting. It's the bowling. I still think yeah, that's a major concern.
All right. Again, it's just one game for everyone. But if I have to sort of pick standout team of the opening weekend, as we've now seen every team play once, just by the gut and how many boxes each team may have ticked or whether they've impressed you. They might even have lost their game and you might be impressed by them. But can you pick one standout team, Tom?
Rajasthan.
Rajasthan Royals. Deep?
RCB.
RCB.
I mean, listen, they were my pre-tournament favourites, so they've done all right, actually.
If just on that though, if they have to do without Reece Topley, that might be a big blow. If we don't know the extent of his injury, and I don't know how many bowlers are left now to really get and replace.
So how long is Hazelwood out for?
Well, at this stage unknown, but it's going to be certainly the first few weeks.
Whoa. And then obviously Ashes, so that's another thing, right? Concern.
Yeah, we're not sure how much he'll play and whatnot, but Topley could be a big blow for them. Yeah.
Massive blow.
All right. Well, we'll wait for further updates on Reece Topley. Let's hope it's not too serious, but it did not look good, and I think we did confirm that it is a dislocated shoulder, so that could easily mean the end of his IPL. We'll see how that goes. The story will be updated, of course, on the ESPN Cricket for Mobile app, which you should download if you haven't already. Get to the App Store or Play Store and get the very latest from the IPL and cricket around the world, as we'll keep you posted on whatever updates we get regarding Reece Topley and this game. Big thank you to Deep Das Gupta and Tom Moody. Enjoyed your opening weekend of the IPL? Just sailed past, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, speed of light.
Yeah, it must be your company.
It must be.
Pause.
It must be. Yeah. On that note, it's time to go. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. One game only. Damn it. 7 o'clock as we build up to CSK against LSG. Look forward to seeing you on ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout then. Good night.